Hello there, I am Jamie Neugebauer, and I do a lot of different things media-wise for the North York Rangers Tier 2 Junior A hockey team, and today what I'm doing is a podcast including a conversation I had with Rangers head coach John Dean, where we talk about North York's 6-game Round 1 series win versus the Oakville Blades, and then we look forward to the second round where the Rangers will take on the number 1 seeded Buffalo Junior Sabres, with Game 1 going Wednesday night in Buffalo at the First Niagara Center, of course the home of the Buffalo Sabres National Hockey League team. So anyways, without any much further ado or any sort of fanfare, here it is, my conversation with Rangers head coach John Dean. Here with John Dean, head coach of the North York Rangers, and guess we'll just jump into it. The Rangers coming off of a 6-game series victory over the Oakville Blades. And John, heading into the series, there was a lot of discussion on message boards and whatnot about how these two teams play a fairly similar style of play, like to get out and skate, like to use a lot of skill, like to attack in transition. I guess, would you agree with the assessment heading in that Oakville and North York heading to the series and during the series have a sort of similar style of play?
But for sure, the two teams matched up similar in terms of how our offenses run, but I really wouldn't. I don't want to compare myself to Oakville. I don't think compare the North York Rangers to Oakville. I really don't think we were that similar, other than the fact that we have such a high-end offense. I think we're a little more structured, and they're a little more run and gun, and really rely on your skill. And I think we have more of a mixed bag of tricks than Oakville did. Not to take anything away from Oakville, but that's the way I would have read it.
Yeah, and I would agree. And I guess what would you account for the fact that I guess throughout the series, when you guys won big and at home, and then had a little bit more difficulty in their arena in terms of pulling off the win. Obviously, you guys outshot them quite a lot, but how would you account for the disparity between sort of home dominance versus road, struggles in a way?
Yeah, I think their style of play is very conducive to the big Olympic ice, so that helps. And they're used to that rink. It's tough to transition to Olympic ice, that's for sure. And quite honestly, the games that we were in Oakville, I thought that we gave ourselves a chance to win in all three of them. Obviously, the one we did win, I thought giving a couple bounces here and there, and a couple good bounces for them, and it could have been a lot different, right? So I don't really think it was like you said, we outshot them in both games, so I really don't think it was an issue of us not able to adapt. There's bounces, a couple system breakdowns with the big ice, and that's really it. Yeah,
and for the most part, the Renoufs really struggled to get going, and puck moving, attacking defensemen like Kyle Jenkins and Gregory Campbell and Stéphane LeBlanc had a little bit more trouble sort of wheeling and dealing as much as they're used to. Were those specific names guys that you focused on, or do you not pay attention to matchups like that?
I didn't pay as much attention to the D, other than our overall system, but we really paid attention to our enough line, and I thought Gonzalez did an incredible job of shutting them down. Kudos to our enough line that they attract so much attention from us. I mean, they're a big part of our game plan, so I thought that's kudos to Gonzalez on the price as well.
I guess in Game 2 in Oakville, there was a big fight and a bit of a scrum along the boards. A lot of pushing and shoving more than anything. I guess some face washing involving Chris Aitchison and Luke Laidlaw, and it really seemed to spark the Rangers. And I know that H got a suspension, and Laidlaw I think got 2 games. But do you think it was sort of worth you never want to lose a guy like Aitchison, obviously, but do you think it was worth the 1 game to sort of get the team into that game emotionally, or how did you evaluate that situation?
I evaluated that we got under their skin and got them off their game. And, I think obviously Aitchison stuck up to the plate because he had to. We don't want to lose Chris Aitchison ever. He's a big part of the game, especially penalty killing, and he helps run our second unit power play. But I think he responded. I think he responded quite well. I mean, they were getting shit with their sticks and the hooking and the slashings, and I thought that we responded with being physical for a full 60. And if it ends up for the F to fight to get them off their game, then our guys lance for the bell.
Yeah, and that whole sort of behind the scenes extracurriculars was a little bit of a theme throughout the series. Just two more questions about the Oakville series. What can you say, I guess, about Corey Kalk, the Corey Kalks and the John Carpinos and the Liam Cairns?
And listen, if you're going to win in the playoffs, your best players have to be your best players, and obviously those guys stepped up absolutely huge. I think we all knew they were going to be good. I don't think we realized that they were going to be that good. It's great for them to get the ball running and rolling a little bit, and I'm hoping they take that same confidence into Buffalo and give a similar style effort. I think more importantly, they did a lot of small things too, block shots, finished hits. They really did all the extras as well. So, obviously, heading into Buffalo, we're hoping we get much of the same for those guys and everyone else to contribute as well.
Yeah, for sure, and I think a lot of guys stepped up, and I think a lot of guys have continued to sort of grow on their learning curve. Like a Brody Power is really the last couple of weeks really been everything that I believe you want him to be for this team. But is there anything that you wish that overall the guys did better? Could have done better?
Yeah, I think every once in a while we got caught up in a running gun. I think if we would have stuck to our system, that he might have been over in five. But we got caught in some of the running gun, which is normal when you play a team like that. We don't want to trade chances with Oklahoma. We did it for, every once in a while we do it for a period or 10 minutes, and I want us to stick to systems and competitive level and not get caught up in another team's game.
Yeah, and that's something that really, especially for the first two periods in Game 6, the Rangers just didn't worry about it seems like the team didn't worry about the fact that Oakville might have come out desperate or anything like that. The guys just stuck to their game plan and put their foot on the pedal and didn't let up at all in the first two periods anyways. And then once the game was a bit out of hand, then I guess maybe there was some things that came in. Are you afraid at all that they learned some bad habits in that third period, or you're not worried about that?
No, I'm not worried. I think these guys have a good head on their shoulders. I think, unfortunately, in today's game, that third period is a bit of a natural response. I didn't like it at all, but, when it's a 6-1 hockey game, players put it on the line for 5.5 games, they find themselves taking a breather. It's not easy playing playoff hockey for 5.5, 6 games straight. Most kids, unfortunately, they have that opportunity because they're still young to take a break or a breather because they think the window is too difficult for them to close. Then obviously, they mentally take breathers and breaks, and we didn't like the way that third period ended up. But I'm really not concerned with this group. Pretty mentally tough group.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing, talking to Scott McGuire recently, is he just sort of remarked on how mature the team is and how mature the team has been. Even the forward core, which is still generally fairly young. Obviously, you have the older guys like Price and Kinsella, but he talked about how this team is a fairly easy team to lead and that they are mature and they don't. And you've talked a lot about it too, about the maturity level and the level of adversity that this team has pushed through in terms of injuries and suspensions to keep people throughout this team. But it's sort of like on an opposite note to sort of after 5.5 games of tough sledding. Playing against the Buffalo team now that not only have had a long time off since sweeping Burlington in the first round, but also you guys haven't seen them in a long time. Would you rather have played them more recently, or is there an advantage in a team not knowing exactly sort of how the Rangers have evolved to this point?
I don't really think there's advantages either way. With fast hockey now, we can watch lots of games. So can they. So, it's the way the game evolves. I think everyone knows exactly what everybody else is doing. So, maybe mentally for the kids, but the coaching staff and as a group who prepared for their most recent style of play. So, I'm not overly concerned with an advantage or disadvantage that way.
Fair enough. And obviously one person to watch on the Buffalo Junior Sabres, and just sort of wonder what you think about him and wonder about how he plays, is Tyler Jurich, who obviously has sort of lit the league on fire and got lots of recognition. I believe he's a commitment to the University of Maine. I guess what can you say about Tyler Jurich?
Yeah, listen, obviously this year. So he's an incredible hockey player. He's somebody we're going to have to key on and take away his time and space and not let him control the game. And he's shifty. He's got a great shot. They're always looking to set him up for it. So we're excited for the challenge, and he's going to be a big part of shutting him down is a big part. But they're relatively deep too. So it's not just going to be him we have to focus on, but obviously he'll be a big part of the game plan.
I guess two more questions. Parker Gahagan, and we talked about it a bit yesterday, but he's one of the elite goaltenders in this league. He's not big, but he's athletic, and he's a very smart goaltender. He's very good positionally. How do you feel about him, I guess, and how do you plan on beating him?
Listen, it's like any other goalie. It's good to lead. We got to get traffic there, get shots there. So important that we get as many bodies in front of it as possible. So, that's how we'll focus on those guys. I'm not, we don't want to focus on a goalie. Just get traffic there, play rebounds, play hard, get lots of pucks there. Your classic cliches, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the more I think as a coaching staff, you focus on the other team's goalie, the more that goalie can get in your player's head. And that's obviously something you definitely don't want, especially with a group like that we have, or the Rangers have, that's so offensively explosive and offensively gifted. I guess just the last question is going to be a rare privilege and a rare opportunity to play in an NHL arena at First Niagara Center. I guess how excited are the guys, and how excited are you even? And how do you plan on talking to the guys so they aren't awestruck or nervous?
Yeah, I don't think the guys will be nervous. And I'm excited. It's an opportunity for everybody to, it's a place we all want to play professionally or coach professionally or, whatever our goals are. So it's nice to be in that atmosphere. But at the end of the day, we got a game to focus on, and I won't concern myself with the awe factor. We look at the guys 10, 15 minutes at the beginning. When we first get there a little bit early to take a look at it and settle in. And then after that, we'll make sure that we're not focused on it.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I'd just like to thank you for your time, and I guess I'll see you on Wednesday.
All right, buddy.
So there you have it, John Dean, the head coach of the North York Rangers, and myself, Jamie Neugebauer, the play-by-play voice and the doer of various other things for the North York Rangers club. Make sure to come out when the Rangers play Game 2 versus the Junior Sabres on Friday night at the Herb, and then again Game 4 next Tuesday night, also at the Herb for Game 4, as I said, and then stay tuned to North York Rangers Point Streak website to find out when future games and future dates and times are, and the guys really feed off the energy. If you can show up, they'd love it. They'd be great. And hopefully the Rangers can keep rolling and keep this going. All right, well, thanks so much for listening. I'm Jamie Neugebauer, and be sure to tune into this website as much as you can. All right, have a good one.